Hey guys, welcome back. So, today I thought I'd do something just a little bit different. Now, this video is going to be, sort of anyway, in the spirit of Valentine's Day, which is today, as of recording this. So, I thought to myself, relationships. How can I mix that with The Walking Dead and Doctor Who and Batman and all the other comic book stuff? So I thought, what better way to bring in the Walking Dead special comic, Here's Negan, which was eventually adapted into a Walking Dead TV episode, season 10 episode 22. So this special, I don't actually know when it came out. So let me just boot up the old computer here. Whilst that's going, I'm going to talk about the special. So first of all, you've got this, which, as it says back here, celebrates Negan and how he came to be. Here's release. I really should have the Walking Dead wiki up, but I don't. So, no, hang on a minute, I'll be back. Yeah, so it says here on the Walking Dead wiki that it was initially released as separate chapters consisting of 4 pages each, published monthly from April 27th of April 2016, and it was released as a hardcover that came out to celebrate the 14th anniversary of the comic series in October 4th 2017. So, why is it so thin? Well, each chapter or issue only consisted of 4 pages. So if I open up the book here, it just consisted of, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's got 16 of those in there. So what, 16 times 4, that's 64 pages, about that. So what is the story of Here's Negan? Well, first of all, it's very different to the TV show. In the TV show, Here's Negan was a story of Negan who was cheating on his wife. His wife got cancer. The zombie apocalypse happened midway through chemo, and he ends up risking his life to go out and find the chemo liquid. And when he gets back, his wife had she'd given up basically, and she was now with a plastic bag over her head as a zombie. So then he decides to get a baseball bat named after her. There's a couple of little bits like he's kidnapped, but nothing too major to his story. Whereas in the comic, we have something a little bit more sort of substantial to work with. Obviously, it was trying to cram it into the space of an hour rather than a year of comics. But we open with Negan wrapping Lucille, or what appears to be Lucille. And then we flash back to him just being a general, like, bit of a not very nice guy. And he's beaten a couple of kids. And then he finds his wife collapses, and it's revealed she has cancer. So he decided that he has a little argument with her, and then he's looking after her until she's on her deathbed. And he does surprisingly well at that. And then he's sitting with her, and the world goes to hell. and then she dies. Terrible tragedy. And she comes back to life, and he has to dispatch of her one final time. He's like proper upset about it. So yeah, then he runs out of the hospital and he saves some guy, and then basically the rest of the book is a couple of pages of him looking after someone, them dying over and over again, like over and over again. I mean, this guy has time to grow like a full beard, and in the end he comes across Dwight. Yeah, he comes across Dwight, who's not got half of his face burned off yet. And they become friendly-ish. He's a little bit reluctant because he's like, oh, you're gonna die again, but they don't. And then he inspires a whole group to band together, and then he's like, right, this isn't going well, you guys are going to listen to me, that's it now. And he basically just takes over. So why did I choose this over something like trying to sum up Rick and Michonne or Rick and Andrea? Well, because all in all, there's a lot we can take from this as opposed to Rick and Andrea and Rick and Michonne. Because Rick and Andrea and Rick and Michonne, they found each other in all the madness, which is great, you know, if you're interested in love. But I'm not, and I think that this book, to me, sums up the idea that actually, you know, things don't last, and you can't hold on to said things forever. But what you can do is create almost like a monument to the dead. You can remember these people for who they were, not who they ultimately become. So that's a brief breakdown of Here's Negan. Now, this is kind of sort of bittersweet, really, because there's so much more that they could have done. Instead of giving us these unnecessary, well, I say unnecessary, I'm still very excited to see Rick and Michonne, don't get me wrong, but we could have had a spin-off of that. They could have adapted an entire mini-series of like 6 episodes dedicated to that, dedicated to Negan. You know, in the first episode we could have seen what he was like pre-outbreak, how he lost his job as a gym teacher, his wife gets cancer at the end of the episode, then in episode 2 we see him living out the rest of his days with her, and then she dies in the start of the apocalypse. In episode 3 and 4 we just get him losing people over and over and over again. And in episode 5 he meets Dwight and he starts to build the group, and in episode 6 of course he becomes the leader of the Saviours. So that's the sort of thing we could have had, but of course COVID hit, and then, you know, we had to have the 6 mini bonus episodes, which I'm not going to complain about, although season 10 episode 21 diverged with the rat in the kitchen and Daryl doing side quests. We're not going to speak about that. That is one of the few episodes which I am almost certain I will never do an episode analysis on, because there is nothing to analyse. There is quite literally nothing in it. I mean, if I go into Disney Plus, the episode description is not something big. It's not like, oh, this grand thing. It is literally just, if I refresh the page, I don't even know what it's going to be, but the point is, it was unnecessary. Some of the episodes were good, like Here's Negan, like just one more with Gabriel Aaron at 10:19. Even the Daryl one was pretty awesome, but then you got diverged a fork at a fork in the road, Daryl and Carol go their separate ways. That's a load of rubbish. That episode is one of the few episodes that I will probably never watch again. But I'm getting sidetracked. The point is, we got a 50-minute episode on Negan and Lucille. We could have had so much more. But that's just my thoughts. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.